Hey everybody, welcome to the Wild, Creative, and Confident, a video interview series where you can learn from the most inspiring industry leaders on how you can use your passion and creativity to design the life and business of your dreams. I'm your host, Erin Thompson from wildandcreative.com, and today I've got a very cool guest. Erin Thompson is with us. She is a trendy social media expert that transitioned from a career in criminal justice as a probation officer. You don't hear that too often. She loves serving busy female entrepreneurs and beginners that are new to the media scene. She does it all: management, marketing, and coaching. She is your lady if you ever need help with anything like that. So welcome, Erin.
Thank you, Sarah Marie. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Can you turn your volume up just a titch?
Yeah, let me turn that up. Is this better?
That's perfect.
Okay.
So I want to just jump in and ask you, you made a massive career change from a criminal justice officer to a social media expert that is a little bit more of obviously a creative career. Why did you make that change?
Well, so I went to school for criminal justice, and the first job I got was being a misdemeanor probation officer. And I did like that job. I liked certain things about it because I was helping people, but there was a lot of times where I couldn't help people, so it was a little bit of a negative environment too. And it's kind of funny, I fell in love with Facebook while I was working there at probation, just because during my breaks and times where I didn't have clients, I would be on Facebook. It was kind of an escape for me. So I just was always on Facebook learning, and then I ended up getting laid off in 2012. And then after that, I did a couple other jobs. I worked in recruiting, and then I worked with another marketing company. And then this past summer, I just decided to start my own business, so that way I would be in control of my life and my own terms. So that's kind of how it all happened.
So did you really feel, in a sense, I know you said you got laid off, but did you feel a calling to leave even before that?
Yes, I was very unhappy there just because, like I said, it was a negative environment. I was sending people to jail, and even though, they were breaking the law and doing things they shouldn't, I felt so horrible. Like, it wasn't something that I felt, it wasn't something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I wanted to help people, and I wanted to be in a more positive environment, doing something that I loved and being creative and not being so structured and, being told that I have to violate these people's probation and send them to jail. And so it just wasn't me.
You didn't wake up in the morning and are like, yes, who am I going to send to jail?
Right. When I'd see the warrant on the screen, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to call the police. This is not good.
So have you always been a very creative or inspired individual? Because now you're in a much more creative career path, right?
Right. Yeah, I think I have. Growing up, I loved arts and crafts. I was always either making jewelry or painting. My mom was an artist. She graduated with a degree in art. And so I think that's kind of where I got my creative side from. And so now with Strawberry Social, I can be much more creative, and I can come up with packages and help people and, work in the social media space and be as creative as I want to be. So it's much better.
So I want to ask you, so deep down, did you always know that you would end up in a career like this? Even matter through the years that you were in criminal justice?
Well, honestly, I had no idea. I kind of felt like my whole life I was told that I needed to just go to school and get a job at the city and just do that for my entire life. So I didn't really see myself doing this, even though it was kind of a dream to be an entrepreneur. And so now that I'm doing it, I just feel much more just happy and relieved that I'm not, sending people to jail and in a negative environment like that anymore.
So I'm assuming that your day-to-day life has really gotten a lot more positive, right? Even your home life has probably changed. Because I know that there are so many people watching that, they're in a career that they absolutely hate probably. They want to get out of it, but they also are scared. They're scared to maybe obviously quit because of the pay, or they're scared to take that leap into entrepreneurship or whatever it is. So how did that change for you, your home life as well?
It was a little scary at first, just because whenever you first start a business, you don't have money just coming in everywhere. So it was a little scary at first, but I just kept working at my business and making it my number one priority besides my family. Obviously, that's going to come first. But so I was working a lot and just put all my focus into my business and making it successful. And so my home life is just much better. I have a 4.5-year-old daughter, so I get to spend time with her. I get to make my own schedule. So like yesterday, I went to the art museum with her after school. So it's just much more flexible, and I am much happier.
I'm sure you're much more fulfilled, and I'm sure it's much more inspiring day to day, right? Even with inspiring for helping you do your entrepreneurship work at home. Tell me, how do you feel that you have taken your passion job that you're doing right now to a level that's different from other women that might be doing the same kind of career as you? So like media and things like that.
My business has transformed quite a bit. So when I first started, I only did management. So I focused on working with the businesses and managing their Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and that sort of thing. And I've kind of evolved it to where now I'm doing social media coaching. And that's where I really feel that fulfillment, because I'm working one-on-one with other female entrepreneurs. And so that's why I think it's a little different, because I do still do the management and then marketing and the coaching as well.
Okay, that's awesome. So I want to ask you then, since you have started your new career, what has been your biggest achievement? And regarding regarding female personal power, what has been your biggest achievement, and to the point of, understanding yourself so that you have the ease and flow in your business and your home life?
Well, that's kind of a harder question for me, but I guess I would say one of my main goals when I first started was that I wanted to work with female entrepreneurs all over the U.S. and then all over the world eventually. I'm in Boise, Idaho, so it's a smaller city. And so I started out just working with businesses here. And then I think it was in just probably about 2 months ago, I started working with some clients in California and Illinois. And so that was a huge achievement for me, just because I was like, yes, I'm outside of Boise, Idaho. I'm helping women in other cities and states. And I've been talking to some people in Canada, so I'm really hopeful that that's going to work out. And I just want to keep expanding and helping women all over the world.
And soon you'll be international.
Yes, I want to be international.
So how have you taken being a creative person? How have you taken creativity versus competitiveness? Because there is so much out there, especially for social media. You're probably in multiple groups on Facebook. You're probably watching what other people are doing behind the scenes. There are many social media experts. So how have you really taken the creative avenue instead of trying to get competitive?
Yeah, so competition is something I don't really think about too often, just because I know there's a ton of other women that do social media, and I think everyone is so individual that they all have their own strengths, and they all probably have different focuses as well. So I really just try to do my business and focus on, what I'm doing with my clients and helping them, rather than thinking about what is this person doing and what's she doing. I do follow other social media experts just to kind of see what sort of things they're doing to learn from them, but I don't feel that there's really any competition, just because there's billions of people on the planet, so there's enough for all of us.
What would you say to other women that are wanting to basically branch out, into a career of their own online? What would you say would be a good first step for them, no matter what the niche is?
I would say just start educating yourself. Learning is a huge, huge part of what I do. So if they have spare time on their lunch break or after work, to start educating themselves in the field that they want to go into, and that way they're going to feel much more prepared to take that leap and start doing it maybe on the side at first, and then once they get comfortable and start bringing in the money, then just quit that 9 to 5 and go full force on their business.
So in your expertise, there is no real perfect time to start, right? Like, you're saying to people to really kind of get your feet wet even before you're ready to take that leap. I'm sure just like having children, there's no perfect time. But if it's something that you're really wanting to do and it's your passion and you feel that it's your calling, start now.
Yeah, definitely. I think that things aren't ever going to line up just perfectly. And I was talking to someone about this yesterday, and they were telling me they were waiting for their website to be live or whatever you call it. And I said, well, just get your Facebook business page up there and start making those connections and meeting people. And don't worry about the website. And as soon as that's out, then we can start sharing your website.
That's just the thing, right? Because even while your website is getting created or whatever it is that you're waiting for, you can already be building a following on, your own private groups or your own Facebook page or whatever. I mean, I know that we keep talking about Facebook, but it's like the father of social media. I mean, I think we'll say in a sense. But what are your favorite social media avenues and why? Why do you think that they work the best?
Definitely Facebook. I think Facebook is my all-time favorite because it's kind of all-encompassing, because you can intertwine like your Instagram and Pinterest into your Facebook, like your business page. And then the Facebook, you have your groups and just so many different things about Facebook. I just love it. And then my other favorites, I would just say, would be Instagram, Pinterest, and then Twitter. And it kind of depends on your industry too. I used to really love LinkedIn when I did recruiting because it was great for recruiting. So it kind of just depends on your business, but those are my top favorites, I'd say.
Okay, awesome. So do you think that an entrepreneur should stick to, say, 2 social media avenues as their main and kind of just stream to the other ones, or what do you suggest to them?
Yeah, I would say pick your top 2 to 3 favorites that work the best for your business and do a good job with those. It's okay to have others, but if you try to, make 4 different networks great, you're going to be spending all day on social media. So I would say, pick maybe Facebook and Instagram if those work for your business, and focus on those and really do a wonderful job with those 2. And then you can slowly start building maybe your Pinterest and work on LinkedIn later down the road, but definitely pick your top 2.
What is your opinion when it comes to women spending too much time on social media? Obviously, you're on there because it's your job, but so many people can get so wrapped up in the social media world, right? So do you have any kind of tips for people watching to kind of like narrow that down or spend better time on social media?
Yeah. Definitely. That's actually something I just created, is an opt-in for my email marketing, which is not up yet, but it will be very soon. And it's about eliminating the social media distractions while working. So that's exactly what I talk about. And I'm going to give, I think it's the top 10 tips. What I can tell you right now is definitely to schedule that social media time in your calendar, and then try not to get on there in between if you can help it. Doesn't really work for me because I'm on there all day, every day, it seems like. But for other people, I would say, block out maybe an hour in the morning, afternoon, and maybe in the evening, and then get on there and respond to people and do some posts and make the most of the time, and don't just get lost, reading articles or reading posts. Try and actually get in there, get your work done, and then get out.
How much do I sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. How much are people expecting for a page to post every day? Or is there kind of like an unwritten rule, or?
What do you mean? Can you clarify?
Yes. So if you have a business page, say, and some people could post, 7 times in a day. Some people only post once. Is there kind of like a sweet number?
I would say you want to at least post once a day. And a lot of people, they're posting once a week, and that's just not enough. They're not going to get engagement. At least once per day at minimum. And then it can kind of vary. I usually post between 1 and 3 times. So I would say that's a good number. And then if you have more time or have somebody helping you, you could do more.
And is there a sweet time of the day to post?
I've read a lot of different opinions on this, and it kind of depends on industry and network, and I actually read something earlier today. I think it was saying for Facebook, maybe around like 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then 7 p.m.
Okay.
But it just kind of depends. You can see what works for you by checking your analytics.
Right. Which is probably something that a lot of people don't do, right? They don't even think about really going in there and checking their analytics and seeing who the demographic is that is actually on their page now, right? So
exactly. That's a very important part of it. And with my clients, I always give them a report at the end of the month where they can go through and see, what's working, what's not, and then, tailor their business from those analytics.
yeah, I noticed that, well, for me personally, with my Facebook story, a couple years ago, I got a great number of followers or likes on Facebook. And then as I transitioned into serving female entrepreneurs, I definitely had a changeover. There was a drop off. I'm posting for female entrepreneurs now opposed to the general public, right? So I noticed that, it is obviously, it's really about what you post and who you're going to engage with. So can you give us any kind of insight on maybe what people are really looking for? So for example, you are a social media expert. Are you posting inspirational quotes? Are you posting that as well as tips? What are you kind of posting, and what do you suggest that people post within their niche?
Yeah, so I tell people to try to think outside of the box and think about what their ideal client would want to be seeing or reading. So a lot of business owners get into the rut of just posting about their business. They're posting their blog, their services, their products, and people already know that you do that because they've liked your page. And so it's really more about thinking about your ideal client and what they would want to see. So I post kind of a whole range of things. I do the inspirational quotes, I do social media tips, I share articles, I'll post my packages, my services. It's kind of a mix, so it's not always, posting the same thing over and over. And I think that's kind of a good rule of thumb to follow.
I just heard I just heard my Periscope, and I wanted to ask you about Periscope. Do you like it? What do you think about Periscope?
Well, I love to watch Periscope. I have not gotten into doing Periscopes myself, and I actually have a fear of talking on live video, and so that's something I keep going back and forth in my head. I need to do it, or I don't want to do it. I do love Periscope because you can watch people all over the world, and it's a great tool for learning. So if you're maybe starting out as a coach, you can follow other coaches and just get, like you're a fly on the wall and watching them and listening to them. So I absolutely love it. But for me doing it, that's a fear of mine that I'm trying to get over.
I think that a lot of people have that fear of Periscope. And, actually when it was very popular, or really kind of coming on the scene for me anyway, probably a couple months ago, I was really Periscoping quite a lot and getting a little bit used to it. And then I kind of just, it's something you have to set aside your time, especially for girls, right? We need to do our hair and our makeup. We can't just Periscope first thing in the morning.
Right.
But it's funny because everybody definitely does have their social media avenue. Everybody has their what am I getting at here? Everybody has a social media that is wonderful for them. Video, audio, video, audio. What else? What have we got?
Yeah, so they're channels that they like.
Yeah, exactly. So
for them.
Somebody else would be definitely more inclined to be in front of a camera than to say send out audio to people or even writing, right? Some people writing is their thing and they don't want to get away from that. Is it important for people to really kind of blend nowadays, or is it okay to just stick to writing if that's your thing?
I think it's up to the individual person. I think it's good to sometimes go outside your comfort zone because I think you're going to grow more that way. But there are people that are great writers, and as long as it makes them happy and they're successful doing that and they feel good about it, then I'd say, they can stick to writing. But if they do want to kind of push their upper limit and, go outside the box and try things new, I think that they are going to grow as a person as well. So
That's just the thing, right? Because I mean, especially writing, it's so easy to, in a sense, keep blogging and all of that kind of stuff, right? And not really expand yourself from there. You can really stay kind of closeted. You can kind of closet yourself with writing. So, with social media, I know now, videos are so, they're everywhere. It's like,
Right.
it's almost like, blogging is a video thing now. So blog, but I mean, do you think that it is really important for people when they're doing social media, when they're wanting to get more attention on their page and things like that, that they do videos as well?
Yeah, actually, one of my top tips for your Facebook business page is to do a welcome video, and a lot of people don't even think about this. But videos are getting so much more engagement these days. They're getting more likes and more shares. They're just a wonderful tool to bring people to your page. So I would say, even if you don't like being on video, just try it. And it doesn't have to be long. It can be a 30-second welcome video, and just tell people about you and your business and your passion, and then put it up on your Facebook business page and pin it to the top. And it's just going to be really good for you.
That's just the thing, right? Because so many, or if you have a video, it's not going to get lost with all the other posts, right? So I think, yeah, that definitely is a really good tip. I need to do that too. Thank you for.
You can actually feature it, and so it goes to the top of your business page, and it just stays there. So.
Right. I mean, I think a lot of people don't even know that they can pin a post. You can pin a post so that it's always at the top of your page. And that's really important too for, just that initial, this is what I do, this is what you can come here for. And if you have any questions, this is where you contact me at.
Right.
I want to ask you a little bit more about, so for the entrepreneurs that are watching, or for the future female entrepreneurs that are wanting to get out there in the in the in the online world, or even offline,
Yeah.
is there a method that has really worked for you that could help these entrepreneurs find their true authentic calling?
Um, well, I think spending a lot of time kind of internal work, like thinking about what brings you pleasure and what do you want to be, and not always listening to the outside world, just because you're going to get so many just people saying you should do this, you should be like this, and really listening to your heart and your soul. What do you want to do? What do you want to be? Who do you want to help? And then kind of go from there. And it's going to be evolving constantly, probably. That's how it is for me. But just doing that internal work, I would say.
I think that really helps people find the clarity that they need too, right? To really get into whatever avenue it is that they're going to be best suited for. So I know that you mentioned you have an opt-in. Is that something that the viewers are going to be able to get their hands on?
Well, I really hope so. I'm hoping it'll be up this week. So I can share my website if that's okay. And then there is.
We're gonna we're gonna put all of your details with your bio, so everyone, you can get all of Erin's contact information next to her bio and her free opt-in, and so you can find her at strawberrysocial.media. Right. And if you'd like to email her, obviously your email's on her website, but it's Erin at strawberrysocial.media. So ask her any kind of questions that you have regarding any of your social media issues or overload or burn. We don't want you to burn out, because I think that social media is like a key contributing factor to women in business burning out. Is it not? Yeah. I think it's like the icing on the cake, right?
Right. That's something I hear all the time, is that women entrepreneurs, they have so much on their plate, and they're trying to, meet with their clients and develop programs, work on their website, and then they have social media, and it's kind of like the huge elephant in the room that they don't want to face, but they know they have to. And so that's kind of where I come in. I take that stress off of their shoulders and provide daily content for them, and just give them that time to where they don't have to be on social media. They can be focusing on other things. So that is a huge part of it.
Awesome. I have got one more question for you.
Okay.
What is it that makes you wild, creative, and confident?
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, I like I said, I'm always learning, I'm reading, I'm educating myself. I love being creative, so I try to be as creative as possible with my business. And just the name Strawberry Social, people love the name. They're always asking me, where'd that come from? And it's kind of funny. It just came from my daughter's favorite fruit is strawberries. And my husband one day, he was like, don't put too much thought into the name. He's like, think of apple. And then it just kind of popped in my head. I was like, oh, Strawberry Social. That sounds so cute. And so just by the name of my company, I hope people can, you know, kind of get the feeling of that creative side and fun, and just that's kind of, you know, the whole story behind that. But
I feel like you're a double-sided coin. I feel like, you know, on one hand you're like having like crumpets and tea and like doing your social media, and then on the other side you have like a studded leather coat in your closet. So I feel like you're the best of like both worlds.
And so sometimes, yeah, I think I do have definitely, and probably more than just two sides to me, probably like 3 or 4, but yes, you're definitely.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me to ask you these questions and like dive into, you know, your world essentially. And, you know, anybody that is interested in getting some help or having some questions answered, please contact Erin. And yeah, and thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again next time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.